Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make Mexican wedding cakes, also known as Russian tea cakes, butternuts, butterballs, and even snowballs. And this is what they look like. This is a buttery rich shortbread cookie. It's full of finely chopped nuts, has this really nice crisp and crumbly texture, and we coat them with powdered sugar, so I think they really do look like little snowballs. So the first thing that we are going to do is toast the nuts we are using. I do this because it really brings out their full flavor. So what you want to do is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and then you will need 2/3 of a cup, which is 65 grams of nuts. Now, I'm using pecans today. You could use walnuts, you could use almonds, or even hazelnuts. So put your whatever nut you're using on your baking sheet. Now, for the pecans, or even if you're using walnuts or the almonds, bake them for about 6 to 8 minutes until they get a little color, but mainly you'll start to smell them. That's when you know they're baked long enough. Now, if you're using hazelnuts, I find they take a little longer, somewhere between 12 and 14 minutes. Now, I've already toasted mine, and then so take them out of the oven once they're done. Let them cool completely, and then we're going to finely chop them. Now, you could just do this on a cutting board with a sharp knife, or if you have a food processor, it's really easy to do it that way, so that's the way I'm going to do it. So just take your nuts, put them in there like that. Now, the one thing when you're processing nuts in your food processor, you have to be careful, because before you know it, you can turn from finely chopped nuts into a nut paste. So one way to prevent that is to add a little bit of flour when you're processing. So this is the flour that we're going to use in our cookie dough. So I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons. I mean, you don't have to be too exact. It'd be about 25 grams, but I'm just roughly taking that. And then I'm just going to process until they're finely chopped. Take a look at that. That's pretty good. Don't worry if there's a few like bigger pieces of nuts in there. It's not. I'm just gonna just a second longer. Okay, so that's. So I'll just show you. I'll put it in a bowl here. Give you. So that's what you have. It's just finely chopped nuts. Like I said, if you don't have a food processor, just get out your cutting board and start chopping. Okay, so I'm going to just clean this up, and I'll be right back, and we'll make our cookie batter. So now for our cookie batter. If you have a stand mixer like I have here, use your paddle attachment. You could use a hand mixer, or really, when you're making a shortbread, you don't want to incorporate a lot of air, so you could just use a large bowl with a wooden spoon. The first thing you will need is 1 cup, which is 225 grams of butter. Have your butter at room temperature. I'm using unsalted here. The reason I like unsalted is 1, I like the flavor, and 2, it allows me to control the amount of salt in the recipe. But if you have a favorite salted butter that you want to use, by all means use it, and then just leave out the salt that's in the recipe. So, along with the butter, I am adding 1/4 cup, 30 grams of confectioner sugar. You may know it as powdered or icing sugar. Now that might not seem like a lot of sugar, but remember, the Mexican wedding cakes, as you can see, we coat the outside with even more powdered sugar after they're baked. So I don't like to add a lot of sugar to the actual cookie batter. And then for flavoring, I'm adding 1 teaspoon, 4 grams of pure vanilla extract. So now, I'm going to beat this on pretty like medium-low speed because like I said, with a shortbread, you don't want to incorporate a lot of air. They're kind of a crisp and crumbly texture to shortbread, so we don't want to make it like light and fluffy. So have your mixer on medium-low, and I'm just going to mix until everything's all mixed together and nice and smooth. Sort of a minute or two. Okay. Whenever you're making any kind of batter, just periodically stop and scrape down the sides and bottom of your bowl. Make sure everything gets mixed together. So now I have here 2 cups, 260 grams of all-purpose flour. You may know that as plain flour, but remember, 2 cups minus 2 tablespoons. And what I'm just going to do is add like 1/4 of a teaspoon, 1 gram. I'm using a fine kosher salt. Just kind of whisk that together. And put that in there, along with our finely chopped nuts. And then I'm just going to mix this until everything's combined. Again, on medium-low speed. Okay, we are done. That wasn't too hard. That's what I love about this cookie. So it's a little soft. We have to roll this into round balls. So I'm going to cover my bowl and I'm going to chill the batter until it's firm. You know, that could take, depending on how soft your batter is, a half hour to an hour. Actually, if you wanted to make your batter one day and then let it chill overnight, you could do that as well. But just until it's firm enough that we can roll it into round balls. So that's what I'm going to do, and when we come back, we will roll our cookies. So I let the batter chill, so now we're ready to form our cookies and bake them off. So you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and then you will need a baking sheet. I've lined mine with parchment paper, but you could just either lightly butter it or spray it with one of those nonstick cooking sprays. Now what we're going to do is form our dough into 1-inch, 2.5 centimeter round balls like this. So that would be about, a tablespoon of batter if you want to weigh it, which I often do. That would be about 18 grams per cookie. The important thing, you could make them a different size than this, just make sure that every cookie is the same size so that they bake in the same amount of time. So I've done most of them, so just take your batter and roll it. And the reason we chill it is so that when they're baking, they will keep that round shape, which is what we want, little snowballs. So that's what I've done. So I've done 4 rows of 3. So we're going to bake them, everyone's oven is a little different. I'm going to say 12 to 15 minutes. I do like to rotate my baking sheet front to back halfway through baking just so it's a real even bake, because a lot of times your oven can have hot spots. What you're looking for, they will be firm to the touch. And the way I tell they're done is at the bottom of the cookie, right around the bottom, they will just be beginning to start to brown. So that's how I test them. Shortbread is, the longer you bake them, the more crisp they will be. So, depending on how you like yours. I like mine a little crisp, but I do like them a little soft too. So 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so our cookies are done. So just put your baking sheet on a wire rack. So they are set, and if you can just start to see them turning brown around the bottom. If you flip them over, they would be brown on the bottom. I don't want to do that because they're really quite soft and fragile right now. We are going to roll them while they are still warm in powdered sugar, but I'm going to let them sit here for 3 to 5 minutes just to cool down a little bit. So while I'm doing that, what you want to do is take 1 cup, which is 120 grams of confectioner sugar, powdered or icing sugar. And then I like to sift it or use a strainer just to get rid of the lumps. Now you can do it over a bowl, or some people just like to do it on a plate, either one. So that's what I'll do, and then we'll be right back. So now I've let these cool down just a bit, so we are ready to roll them in the powdered sugar. So I'll just take them. I just kind of put it in there, flip it around, get a good coating, and I just have another wire rack. I did put parchment underneath there. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, some of the sugar gets under there and it's just easier for cleanup. So that's really all you do. Just be careful because they're still quite fragile when they're hot. And so you're going to go through and do them all. Now, when you look at them, you can see that some of them, when you roll them, because the cookie's hot, and you roll them in the sugar, it kind of melts the sugar. So this is what they look like with the first rolling. Now, what I do, okay, I make them and I have them like that. I cool them down and then I store them, and which I've done here. You can either store them at room temperature, you know, a week or a little longer in the refrigerator. You can also freeze them. And then when I'm about to serve them, that's when I roll them, or I just take a little strainer like this with some powdered sugar and just put it over the top to cover them, like that. So then you have the little snowballs. I mean, you could do them when they cool. You could do it, roll them again, but then I find when you store them, then you got to roll them again, and that's a little too much sugar for me. So this way I only do it twice. So that's how I do mine. Now, I'm not going to try that because it's still really hot. So I have both of these. You may look at these. I don't know whether you've seen the other video I made, which is called Melting Moments. And you could go to our joyofbaking.com website or our YouTube channel, and you will find that recipe. And they look almost exactly the same, little snowballs. The only real difference between the two recipes is this one has finely chopped nuts. So sometimes I make both, especially at Christmas time, and you can kind of serve them both. I don't know which one I like better. You know, the melting moments melt in your mouth. These ones, they melt in your mouth too because there's a lot of butter, as you notice. So let's try. I need a cup of tea with this. That's how I love them. Really good. They're crisp. They're kind of crumbly. If you have them when they're warm, they're really crumbly. They kind of almost fall away. They do melt in your mouth. My favorite is, I must say, is pecans. But walnuts is great. Like I said, walnuts, almonds, hazelnuts. You can make different ones. As you saw, the batter is so easy to make. I mean, this is a cookie, like you could have them done within an hour, hour and a half once you chill. I mean, it's a really fast cookie to make. It freezes. They freeze excellent. So you can make them ahead of time. And then, like I said, freeze them like this with just that first coating of the powdered sugar. And then when you go to serve them, just get a plate and sift them over the top, and you're done. So you must try these. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.